Welcome back, everyone. Today, we aren't just looking at some standard run-of-the-mill motivational speech. No, we are deconstructing an absolute masterclass in human psychology and looking at how to build real, unshakable resilience right from the ground up. Let me ask you a direct question. Have you ever held back on your biggest dreams because you were waiting for the perfect moment? You know the feeling, right? Thinking, oh, I'll start when I have more money, or I'll start when I finally have the right support. I mean, we've all been there. Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down that exact mindset. Here's our roadmap. We'll look at the illusion of the right time, the trap of comparison, speed versus direction, how failure is really just a pause, the power of consistency, and finally, the importance of authenticity. Let's get right into it. Starting off with section 1, the illusion of the right time. Okay, let's dive into this because this is usually our first major mental roadblock. Our minds naturally resist change, right? We crave safety. So what do? We use perfectionism as a shield. Think of it like a traffic light. Imagine sitting in your car, refusing to leave your driveway until every single traffic light in the entire city turns green. I mean, is that ever going to happen? Of course not. If you wait for the perfect time, you literally guarantee that you will never start. Yes, once you get out there, you'll hit red lights, you'll hit traffic, but hey, that's just part of the journey. The harsh reality here? The right time in life never actually comes. We have to decide on the day ourselves. And man, that realization completely shatters this illusion that we need to wait for the perfect resources. That feeling of emptiness or frustration you might be carrying around right now, it's really just stagnation. It's born from waiting. You have to decide that today is day one. Now let's move on to the second trap, comparison and confusion. And this brilliantly illustrates what happens once you finally do decide to start. You hit a massive roadblock, the gaping canyon between social media and reality. Online, we are constantly bombarded with these images of overnight success, the great job, the lavish lifestyle, the booming business. But you know what's entirely hidden from view? The late nights, the constant failures, the heavy, heavy sacrifices. When we compare our messy reality to someone else's polished highlight reel, we fall into this incredibly dangerous trap of guilt, feeling like we're just permanently falling behind. But here is a powerful piece of reassurance for you. Feeling confused is a completely normal phase. Seriously, you do not need to have all the answers before taking that very first step. Being a little ignorant at the start isn't a weakness. It's just part of the process. You figure things out along the way, step by messy step. Moving right along to section 3, speed versus right direction. So how do we actually cure this guilt we feel? Well, we have to stop this exhausting race of constantly comparing our speed to everyone else's. We need to ground ourselves and check our own personal direction. Think about a GPS for a second. It really doesn't matter if you are driving 20 miles an hour or 100 miles an hour if your car is pointed in the completely wrong direction, right? Stop obsessing over speed. Rushing blindly just leads to burnout. Remember this, even a small start is a start. That's it. Focus on daily, small progress. If you can learn just one new thing today and do a little better tomorrow, you are succeeding. Grounded, small steps in the right direction are infinitely more powerful than rushing just to keep up appearances. Which brings us to section 4, understanding that failure is just a pause. We're entering the messy middle now. What I love about this blueprint is that it deliberately avoids all that toxic positivity. It forces us to look at real-world rejection. Hard work does not always guarantee immediate results. Failure, rejection, self-doubt, they are absolutely inevitable. Sometimes you are going to work late into the night, totally exhausted, only to face rejection and zero appreciation. This acknowledges that sometimes the journey is just incredibly difficult. So the crucial point is this, and it's a massive turning point in the narrative. The problem isn't failure itself. The problem is when we stop trying again after a failure. It flips the script entirely. Failure is not a giant brick wall. It is merely a pause button. If you open your laptop and try again, you haven't lost. Giving up is the only true failure. And that flows right into section 5, the true power of consistency. So how do you actually climb out of that pit of failure? It's not through some sudden magical burst of motivation. It's a realistic progression. Look, you start out in confusion. Then you bravely take that first step. After that, you inevitably experience failure. But by maintaining consistency, that's when you finally achieve real personal growth. Success is rarely about giant, dramatic leaps. It's about spending 1 hour learning, fixing one mistake, trying one new project. Small, daily habits are what eventually build a grand, triumphant story. True progress just means being a little better than yesterday. It does not mean being completely perfect. People might mock you, they might try to stop you, but you don't need to respond to everyone. Your internal growth and your quiet, consistent action, those are your best answers. Don't waste your precious energy on society's mockery. Invest it right back into your own progress. Finally, let's wrap up with section 6, authenticity and your story. This is where we look at the technical guidelines of this blueprint, which, secretly, are the most important part of the whole psychology here. The rules are strict. Only real human voices. No AI. No cartoon looks. Realistic expressions. No copied quotes. Why such strict rules? Because in today's culture of fake, AI-generated overnight success, raw authenticity is incredibly rare, and it is deeply, deeply powerful. Human struggles only truly resonate when they are shared by a real human face. The entire psychological weight of this message relies on connecting with genuine human emotion, not a machine. If a voice or face feels fake, the whole message just dies. We draw our inspiration from real people sharing real pain and real triumphs. Now, what's really interesting about this is how it shifts your entire perspective. Ask yourself, what if your bad time isn't a failure, but actually a phase of preparation? What if life isn't stopping you, but it's actually just making you stronger? When you view your struggles as a training ground rather than a punishment, literally everything changes. You don't have to change your entire life all at once today. You just need to keep learning, keep growing, and absolutely refuse to stop. Instead of giving up, make the choice to try just one more time. So the only question left to ask yourself right now is this: what small, messy first step are you going to take today?